So I finally figured out what I wanted to make my first video about. And I couldn't quite get the Minecraft gameplay I wanted for this video, so I just had to use some old World of War campaign gameplay instead. So anyways, the fucking college struggle. Where do I even start with this shit? First off, I just want to say that I feel like a goddamn bum having to run to my mom and grandparents, hat in hand, asking for goddamn money for the first time in years. I mean, literally the first time since I was at most 14. Because since I was 14, I pretty much made my own money, and I still do make my own money. It's just the thing is, this is the first time I've actually financially struggled in my life. I'm currently 20 years old, actually. I waited a couple years out of high school to actually go to trade school. And, well, shit, and I find it's a lot fucking harder, especially when you wait a couple years, especially as an adult. And especially after you didn't do very well in high school. So, yeah, so I'm having to fucking deal with this shit. And I also have to rent an apartment for $400 a month. All the while only working as much as 30 hours a week, and our work is in the midst of an hour cut right now. So, yeah, and this is actually the first time in my entire life that I've actually gone into overdraft in my bank account. Yeah. Not only that, but I also do have a lot of assignments. So I literally have to juggle between hanging out with friends, working, and doing homework, which I'm perfectly fine with because obviously I want a job. And that job does involve drafting and just in civil drafting. That's what I'm currently studying right now. Anyways, so have not only do I have to run to my parents and grandparents hat in hand and also dip out on my friends, but I also have to stay up late as well and also after work to get homework assignments done on time. And yeah, and weekends just feel like a nonstop grind. Really, that's no one ever told me that college would be this fucking difficult. I mean, it's definitely worth it, and I'm happy I got accepted. It's just, god damn, like, just to kind of start with kind of where all this story starts. So I go to take my car in and get an oil change, and my car declines. I'm like, what the heck is going on? And I go to check my balance, and this is pretty funny. So I go to check my balance, right? I go to balance inquiry, and I do my thing. I misread it. I thought that it was like 600 balance, but it turns out the fucking minus sign is actually on the right side of the number. So it turns out I was actually 600 in the hole. I would figure this out later. I'm like, oh my god. I am 600 in the hole. And I go to look, and I try to figure out what the hell happened. And and then I go to my financial aid office and I talk about like next semester's bill and everything, and whether I decided if I wanted to go to basic training for the Navy in January or in May to finish my second semester. And as it turns out, there I would find out why I got into the negative so quickly. And it turns out it was actually because I made an extra tuition payment early. So I had a payment plan for my first semester. It was I believe it was 1169 a month for between August and December. And as it turns out, I actually made 4 payments instead of 3. So ergo, I was basically 1 payment ahead, and that's why I was in overdraft. It was because of that. And now I'm going to have to like literally dip it on my lease early. So yes, and I have to move back with my parents. And well, shit. Damn. Of course, this is also just the American economy, I guess. It's what they call the American dream. But yeah, between tuition, homework, and also having to pay a car finance, and car insurance, and also driving, and also I go to college in a different town, and yeah, I have to drive back and forwards for that. So yeah, all this is pretty fun. So yeah. So yeah, I just wanted to throw this quick video together about just kind of what's kind of going on with my life right now, because I really couldn't decide what to make my first video about, and this is what I kind of went on. So it gave me a pretty good idea to, just make my first video on this channel, I guess, and just talk about my financial struggles and homework. And yeah, and also on top of that, I started this new unit. this new unit called Industrial Graphics. And I'm doing okay now. I'm doing good now. But like whenever I first started it, I fumbled the hell out of the first two assignments, and by week 2 I had a D. I did manage to pull this back up to a B though, but damn, I literally almost wanted to just drop out because of that. And yeah. So anyways, so this is just my first video about the college struggle. I just wanted to kind of vent out about that, I guess. And anyway, yeah, later.